Located on the Adriatic coast in Montenegro lies a charming, ancient walled city, Kotor, with numerous year-round activities, festivals, and the possibility of seeing the ocean and mountains all in a 2-mile radius. It's no wonder Kotor became a sister city with Santa Barbara in 2009.
It's an amazing World Heritage Site, cobblestone streets, and the interior of the city are no cars. It's all a walkabout, and just beautiful, beautiful architecture, friendly people, amazing natural beauty. It sits on a fjord against these mountains, so literally you could swim and hike the mountains all in the same day.
Bridging cultures that are as different as they are distant is what President Eisenhower envisioned in 1956 when he began his People-to-People program to cultivate relationships between nations. Still a city in progress from its emergence out of communism, Kotor turned to Santa Barbara as a role model for artistic and civic engagements.
Several years ago, they broke up into Serbia, Montenegro, etc. At that point, they were all of a sudden non-communist, free enterprise country, a very beautiful country, but in need of a lot of help in making the transition from, one type of economy to another.
The sister city relationship came about when Kotor reached out to international consulting expert and Santa Barbara resident Ichak Adiz.
I think Ichak's primary concern is he did not want to see it change into a high-rise condominium community. He wanted it to grow like Santa Barbara and thought we could be a great asset to them to, how do you grow over these 30, 40 years? We took a contingent over and met with their mayor and their dignitaries and talked about the formalizing a sister city relationship and the things that we might do together.
It's pretty easy to get a sister city. I mean, it takes a while, but you need 25 committed citizens that meet regularly and are intent on making some connections within that other city.
One of the more significant interactions between the two cities has been the formation of the Goran Milik Culinary Academy in Kotor. The academy teaches its students, many of whom suffer from hearing and speech disabilities, the fundamental cooking skills needed to work in the restaurant business.
All these kids in this institution up until 18, are educated at the institute, but at 18 they go out into the world and there's not much in the way of work. One of our members, Gordon Millick, is a chef owner down in Los Angeles at Davino's restaurant. He is from Montenegro, and we got together with him and we began a culinary school for the children at the institute. And all we were looking for is to take these young kids, teach them the basics of entry-level work in a restaurant, and hope that we could get them some meaningful work once they get out of school.
Santa Barbara has benefited artistically from the partnership just as much as Kotor. In July 2011, 13 teenagers from 4 Santa Barbara high schools were invited to perform at Kotor's 19th annual Children's Theater Festival.
The students that we took over were from 4 different high schools here in Santa Barbara, and all super multi-talented singers, dancers, actors. We really got to pick the cream of the crop and create our very own musical theater troupe, right down to creating and writing all their own music and songs.
And we wanted to just make it something fun and easy to understand. So circus is something universal. People can understand that anywhere.
A crowd of over 250 people, including the mayor of Kotor, was on hand to witness the performance. It was the first time any American group performed at the festival.
And the whole time they sat perfectly in attendance. They were a wonderful audience. They'd laugh at all our jokes. They'd sit quietly engaged at the edge of their seats when you needed to listen. So we tried not to bog the show down with too much language. So it was dance-driven, a lot of slapstick, which the children really responded to.
It was really just about having fun. And we just the kids really understood the comedic movement, which is primarily what the show was, which was a real selling point.
I was afraid that people would talk through our performance. The kids weren't mic'd, and I think that they were so unaccustomed to seeing young people with so much gusto and performance presence that you could have heard a pin drop in the theater. It was so amazing.
Similarities between the two cities extends beyond the artistic realm as well. A shared love of water polo has resulted in 3 noteworthy exchanges.
I went over with the idea of having these different committees, and one would be sports. And of course, I knew nothing about water polo when you get over there, and they know nothing but water polo. So our first opportunity was their national team came over here to train with the Southern California teams in preparation for the World Championships. And of course, because of the city-city relationship, they took 2 days and they came up here and played an exhibition match at UCSB. We filled the stadium.
Although the tiny city of Kotor is still developing in many areas, it has a sister city to help it, a relationship that benefits both cities.
It really is a helping hand because in many ways they're like a developing third world. They need schooled on how to, be green and keep their beautiful place beautiful. And, I think we can learn a lot from them too in, preserving heritage and world culture and the arts.